Welcome to my channel Daily Bulletin News. Leo exposes Kerry as Lady Whistleblower, and Bonnie takes a tumble down an elevator shaft. Alex picks Joy up outside the Brady pub to drive her to work. She admits she's a nervous wreck as she got a text from Abe, who wants a word with her, but she doesn't know what it is about. She's afraid he's going to fire her. At the hospital, Bonnie meets with Johnny in an exam room, who is blocking some scenes. Bonnie doesn't want to be a pain but asks if she can cut the line where her character calls Reagan a mendacious bitch, because she doesn't know what that word means. Johnny doesn't care and tells her to cut it. He has more to worry about, like losing the love of his life. Bonnie has heard about him and Joy from Seth Burns, the gossip queen of the set. Johnny laments he let his jealousy get the better of him. Bonnie hopes he and Joy used protection, but Johnny says it didn't get that far. Shocked, Bonnie asks why Chanel's so angry. Johnny says he betrayed her trust and told lie after lie to cover things up, and now Chanel has quit. Bonnie can't believe this, as Faith and Arrow are the most popular couple on the show, and asks how they will write Faith off. She knows Faith just found out Reagan was pregnant with Arrow's baby and asks for the scoop. By the nurse's station, Abe calls Kate to inform her that Leo believes he's identified Lady Whistleblower, and he thinks it's Javi Hernandez. Alex and Joy arrive, and Abe approaches them. Abe tells them he has something important to discuss, and it's about the two of them hooking up. He thinks it could work out to the show's advantage and even be hot. He says their characters will become a couple, and Joy is relieved she's not getting fired. Abe isn't happy about what happened with her and Johnny, but they must move past that, and the show has to go on since Chanel quit. Alex and Joy say they're on board. Alex notes that since they have real chemistry, it should show up on screen. Confused, Abe asks if they're hooking up for real. Alex thought he knew. Abe doesn't see this as a problem as there is no power imbalance between them as there was with Stephanie, but what is the nature of their relationship? In Kate's office, Hattie drops by in an oversized coat and hat to try and keep her big comeback hush-hush. Kate says they must set some ground rules, beginning with no more diva antics and locking horns with Bonnie. Hattie promises no drama, so Kate makes her sign a 13-week contract. Hattie objects to working for scale. Kate explains this is a probation period, but Hattie complains it seems unfair. Kate says this is the same deal as Bonnie, so take it or leave it. Chanel returns from the bakery to Paulina and Abe's. Paulina tries to talk her into unquitting body and soul. Chanel refuses as she can't take seeing Johnny and Joy at work daily. Paulina says Abe will have to go back to Plan A. Chanel is shocked to learn they're killing Faith off. Paulina suggests that she go and shoot her final scenes for closure and to thank Abe and Kate for letting her out of her contract. Chanel agrees to do it. Back at the hospital, Hattie bursts into the room where Bonnie is running lines and they hug. Hattie says she's back. Kate follows Hattie in and gives them their scripts as she wants them to rehearse this scene, see how it goes. Kate sets the scene where Charlemagne is in the morgue, and Bonnie's character is visiting her and lamenting over her body. However, as Bonnie runs the lines and Hattie is under the sheet, Hattie breaks the script, sits up, and says she thought she was coming back from the dead. Kate says she will once she's injected with the flower serum, but Hattie doesn't like that she has no dialogue. Kate tells her she agreed to read the script as written, or she's off the show. Hattie relents to doing it Kate's way. Meanwhile, Alex and Joy don't know how to describe their relationship to Abe. Abe says when they figure it out, let him and Kate know. Abe walks off, and Joy calls that awkward, but she still has her job. Alex thinks they should talk about where they stand. Joy didn't want to pressure him as he just got out of this thing with Stephanie. Alex notes she's moving on with Philip, and he needs to do the same. They admit they like spending time with one another. He suggests they tell Abe that it's complicated. Chanel shows up, walks up to Johnny, and they look over at Alex and Joy. Joy approaches and says she thought Chanel quit. Chanel explains she came to tape Faith's final scenes, and she's only doing this for Abe. Faith asks Johnny how her character dies. Johnny says Leo didn't have time to cook up something new, so he's sending her the same way as Charlemagne died. Chanel can't believe this is how she goes out. Johnny hoped they could talk when this was over, but she has nothing to say to him. Being in the same room with him and Joy makes her ill, so she suggests they get this over with. Johnny begins the shoot, and Faith interrupts Arrow and Reagan as they look at their sonogram photos in the hospital waiting room. Faith accuses Reagan of lying to Arrow and passing this baby off as his. They get into a war of words, with Reagan telling Faith how many times she and Arrow did it in that hotel room. Chanel ups and slaps Joy, for real, and hard. Chanel claims she was just really in character. Joy says they should continue as she can't wait to see Chanel go down that elevator shaft. After the taping, Johnny and Joy head out, and he walks her to the Brady pub. Joy says she's glad Chanel slapped her. As far as she's concerned, they're even now. Stay tuned and subscribe the channel.